Look at this, how this stacks up. 7 straight field goals made to end the game. We've talked about in clutch time how good the Denver Nuggets are down the stretch closing games. This is that. Proof is in the pudding. Zach Lowe, before we unpack exactly how that 20-point lead evaporated, what did you make of the insanity down the stretch?
Well, my head is still reeling from it. Like, I don't really understand what happened on that Michael Porter Jr. But it happened. It happened. And look, this is the best crunch time team in the NBA. The whole game gets frenzied and hot, and everyone gets a little stressed, and the Nuggets are like, chill, we got this. We run our stuff. And Jamal Murray is the epitome of that. If we go to his last 2 shots from last night, I just thought they were great shots and great. And this one is going to be forgotten because this is a tying one. And there's a moment right here where he can enter the Jokic, and they both decide, you know what? You take it, man. That's yours. The chemistry on this team is just A++. And these two guys are just incredible big shot makers. I mean, Jokic took it to AD a couple times, and you get this one. They make the shots that you're supposed to give up. Right. From the mid-range, leaners, floaters. They're just absolutely incredible, and no one has found an answer to their 2-man game down the stretch of games.
You know, it was supposed to be the 3 of us hanging today, right? And then last night, get a late text from Kendrick Perkins. We see what he put on Twitter. He said, I had some things to get off my chest. You weren't even supposed to be on the show, but here you are. So I'm just going to say, you know what, Perk? The floor is yours.
Well, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be on the show, but here we are, okay? And I've been searching, and I've been looking all day long, watching all the shows and wondering, when was somebody going to address the elephant in the room? Everybody wanted to talk about, was this a foul? Was that a foul? What's wrong with the replay system? The officials was horrible. We get all that. The fact of the matter is that the Lakers had a 20-point lead, a 20-point lead. The fact of the matter is that they held the Denver Nuggets to 44% shooting, 23% from the three-point range, and held them to 101 points. Now, let's address the problem. The problem is that Anthony Davis was in his bag last night. From the middle of the second quarter is the reason they took off was because of AD. He was 14 for 19 from the field. He finished with 32 points. Today, we supposed to come on television talking about AD moment in a good way, not AD moment in a bad way with him getting a game winner hit over the top of him. So I'm looking at Darvin Ham, and I'm looking at LeBron James, and I'm wondering, why did Anthony Davis only take 1 shot in the fourth quarter? Why don't y'all allow this man to be great? He should have finished this game with at least 50 points, at least 25 field goal attempts. LeBron James keep talking about, oh yeah, AD, well, I'm gonna give you the keys to this car. Well, he has, but AD still sitting in the passenger seat. He can't drive the car sitting shotgun. So at the end of the day, they have to really let this man do what he do. AD has been phenomenal in this series offensively. Let that man go to work. If AD finished that game with 25 field goal attempts, the Lakers win that game in great fashion. I strongly believe that.
The only reason that the Lakers were even in the position they were up by so much is because Anthony Davis made 14 straight field goals. That is how hot he was cooking, right? We're calling all the big guns in order to dissect all of this. Brian Windhorst with us as well. Was this a Nuggets comeback, or did the Lakers blow it, Brian?
Both. And I'm going to answer Perk exactly what happened. At the 10-minute mark of the third quarter, the Lakers went up by 20 points. And by the way, all those teams that blew 20-point leads this year, the Lakers weren't one of them. They were 20-0 this season when they got up by 20. Oof. Michael Malone called timeout and very simply he didn't really have much he could do because the Lakers were just attacking Nikola Jokic with Anthony Davis in the pick and roll. He made a very simple adjustment that basically changed this game. It was not a foul call in the third quarter. It was not the replay center. It was not a missed call in the last minute. It was this change that happened. He simply put Aaron Gordon on Anthony Davis and took Nikola Jokic off of him. And the Lakers did not respond to that. Jokic was on Rui Hachimura. The Lakers lost their vision and their game plan. They basically stopped running clean offense for a long time after that and opened the door for the Nuggets to chip away. You saw it earlier with that graphic. Look at the whole team. It was 68-48 when Michael Malone called that timeout. Yep. There was 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Lakers ended with 99 points. It's very simple math. You don't need analysis. In the first 26 minutes of the game, they scored 68 points with Anthony Davis being guarded by Jokic, riding that pick and roll. In the last 22 minutes, they scored 31 points. AD was not involved in it at all. That is just a basic strategy maneuver. The Lakers did not handle it well, and that is the reason why they lost this game. You can look at individual moments. You can look at individual things. You can complain about calls. That strategy move changed everything. That's why the Nuggets are up 2-0 in the series.
You said something that is so important, so crucial. You said that the Lakers lost their vision. And what I'm thinking about is the dangers of stargazing. Because in the fourth quarter, we had two tremendous stars, LeBron James and Nikola Jokic. LeBron James, prior to the fourth quarter, had 12 assists, but he was being the star. We all felt like we were witnessing one of those iconic moments that adds to the resume of him being the greatest of all time. He scored 12 points, but he did have 0 assists. Now, Jokic, he generated 15 points scoring or assisting versus LeBron's 12. Now, it's not just on LeBron. His teammates, and there's going to be a graphic that you'll see very soon, only scored 8 points. So they only had 20 over the fourth, even though LeBron was a result of 12 of those. Now look at Jokic. He scored or assisted on 15. The rest of his team had 17. You're looking at a team that has been searching, as Perk mentioned, for AD to be the next consistency. But then maybe it's coaching that needs to demand he gets the ball.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura stepping up. Those are important because if you look at all the games, even the Knicks, you're getting key pieces, whether it's hustle plays from rebounds or scoring from everyone in totality. The Nuggets have that on top of their star. Unfortunately, it looked like the Lakers were watching their star down the stretch, and that's what really hurt them.
Denver's largest postseason comeback over the last 25 years. They were previously 0-27 in those scenarios prior to this game, too. As for the Lakers, LeBron James, he was focusing his frustrations on the overturned foul call from the third quarter after the game.
I don't understand what's going on in the replay center, to be honest. I think I said it this year or last year, whatever. D'Lo clearly gets hit in the face on a drive. What the do we have a replay center? If it's going to go, it doesn't make sense to me. It makes no sense to me. It bothers me. Sorry I didn't answer your question, but that is like.
Okay, so I actually understand. I did not think that it was the right call to overturn that foul on D'Angelo Russell, but that wasn't the thing that made the Denver Nuggets come back from down 20. This felt to me like the game the Lakers had in their hands, and they let it slip through their grasp. Brian Windhorst, did it feel like this was the last grasp for the Lakers?
I mean, obviously they played really well. They played 26 of their best minutes of the season, probably the 26 best minutes they played against Denver in the last 2 years. Yeah. And it didn't lead to a win, and that's very deflating, especially when you could have taken home court advantage. But, I mean, they're fighting the good fight. They are not the better team. The Nuggets are the better team. That's been established very clearly here. We do see upsets with teams that are lesser than rising up, and you need to win a road game. That's still technically on the table. But I'm just going to tell you that in LeBron's career, he's 15-1 in first-round series. He knows exactly what it means to be the best player on the better team, with teams coming in there, not getting it done and blaming the officials. He has been on the other side of that literally dozens of times. They are fighting against reality. I respect it, but it's reality.
Perk, you FaceTimed me in the middle of all of this last night because you were so adamant that LeBron James, you weren't sure that he was right about this. Can you tell us a little bit more?
I mean, look, it's over with. The Denver Nuggets are going to win in 5. Do I think that they're going to sweep the Lakers? No. I think LeBron James is going to dig deep, but he hasn't faced an opponent like Nikola Jokic. We're talking about arguably the best center to ever play the game of basketball, the most skilled center to play the game of basketball. And when you lose like this, the way that they did last night, being up 20 in game 2, being up 12 in game 1, all of a sudden, and you're watching this starting 5 walk them down like they're at a track meet, it becomes discouraging. So when you walk back into the Crypto.com arena, what are you going to say to a team, or what can you do in the locker room to say, let's get up, we got these guys, when they didn't beat you 10 times straight. They didn't beat you 10 times in a row with no hope. So my thing is, at the end of the day, when I look at them and I look at LeBron, he's giving all he can, AD's giving all he can, but they still have Jokic, and they still have Murray, and they still have Aaron Gordon, and they still have Porter, and they still have Caldwell Pope.
It's like
Until
Uno,
those
he keeps
guys
down
break
plus
up,
fours.
Yeah, they're gonna continue to beat the brakes off the Lakers.
Okay. I'm someone that is always glass half full. And if there is one part of that glass that is looking up, it's the fact that in game 1, you had AD and LeBron show up. In game 2, you finally got D'Lo. So it seems like as the games progress, you're getting better play from one more star. But you're still going up against the Denver Nuggets, who don't have to play perfect. And I think what LeBron James is highlighting by calling out the officials is that at any course of the game, you know, you're going to think about these one possession. Basketball is a game of possessions. You can isolate the D'Lo foul, but you can also isolate the LeBron James shot, right? Like there's certain circumstances that you can be mad about. KCP fell, LeBron shot the ball, and we see it right here. He was on a heater before this.
The closest defender was 14 feet away.
Look, without his prior shots, that miss, like, I'm glad that he took it, right? But at the end of the day, this was the possession. The thing that's wild is that the Denver Nuggets in this game led for 44 seconds. 44 seconds.
44 seconds that mattered.
That's all that mattered. And I think what LeBron James is saying, if we're going to come down to a game winner, we need to do our best on every possession leading up to that. And that's not a theme that is unique to the Lakers. We saw what happened with the Knicks. But in circumstances, there were, you know, we all say the basketball gods. LeBron could have made that shot. AD could have got that stop. There were certain things that just bounced towards the Nuggets down the stretch, the same way things bounce towards the Knicks. And it's just, you got to go on to the next game.
Okay, first of all, it was a foul. Second of all, the Lakers have had the biggest free throw differential in the history of the NBA for the last 2 years running. Third of all, if that's a thing, I think we need to arrange LeBron to have an internship at the Replay Center for like a week in the summer. Let's see how it all works. Get in there, get your hands on it. You try to do it too. And look, the margin for error for the Lakers in this series, the margin for bad luck, the margin for anything is 0.
Yep.
10 times in a row they have lost to this team. They just cannot afford a loss like last night. And they're actually playing pretty well. They forced the Nuggets to adjust.
Yeah.
They hit the Nuggets, and the Nuggets had to change their whole defensive game plan because the Lakers were playing so well. I just don't know what else they're supposed to do. They're outgunned. They made the conference finals last year. That's a successful season. They're just in a bad matchup. The Nuggets are going to win this series, and there's just nothing they can do about it.